All right, we are officially live. What's going on, metalheads? Big Papa himself here, Jeff Varju, for another episode of Full Metal Recap. Yes, this is the show where we break down everything that happened in the week of Full Metal Trivia, and we get into some very heavy spoiler discussions, and we talk about all the cool things that happened this week. We had a little bit of a break after Snowball. It's been a little bit of a weird time just getting everything back in shape over here, and just in general with me, there's been some things going on with me personally. As you can tell right now, my background is different again. This is the third episode of Recap and the third different background. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, we had to deal with a fire with our one neighbor next door that's connected to us, and we are now officially back home. My family and I are officially back home. This is a big thing for us. We're very happy to be home. We're still not 100% moved in yet. There's still a couple things I need to fix, especially in my office area, but we're getting there. We're very, very slowly getting there. I think one day what I want to do is I am going to do a little bit of a video explaining everything. What happened, because a lot of people have reached out to me and wanted to see just what happened and what the whole story is, and it's a lot to explain in one big long post. So I figured I'd just do a video at some point. If you guys want to see that, definitely let me know. I'll get you guys up to date with that and let you know what's going on. So we got a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not gonna cover it all because there was a lot, because we're going to be covering 2 weeks worth of content, and I'm unfortunately not going to be able to cover it all. There's been a lot that's been going on, so I'm going to be covering a lot of like the big stuff. Mostly, I know I'm going to address it right now. Full Metal Geek, there was a lot of matches that dropped, especially with the tournament. I think I'm going to be going over the main event from that, which is the contenders match, which we'll get into that later on through the show. So before we get into everything, if you're new to the show, so this is where we break down everything that has happened here in Full Metal, and we talk about all the cool things that happened in the matches. We kind of break them down a little bit. I give a little bit of an analysis in a way. If you have not watched these matches, as I said before, turn off my ugly ass face. Go watch these matches because they're so much fun to watch and they're just so enjoyable. So if you definitely want to get back, if you want to get in the ring, definitely Full Metal Classic is the way to go. I say we usually make the post on a Monday, but we made the post actually last night, this past on Saturday night, because we're going to be having it on Monday this week. We're going to be having Classic, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But I'm not talking about this week. We got 2 weeks worth of content to go over, and you know what? If you guys are watching along right now on the live stream, comment in the chat what your favorite match the past 2 weeks were, what you think, if when we're talking about certain matches, give your input on that. I try to get everybody involved in the chat. Speaking of the chat, let's see if we got anybody in the chat right now. We got Malcolm, over from Malcolm's Middle Earth Media. What's going on, buddy? And we got Caleb Boatman. Caleb, how you doing, buddy? You had a pretty big week here. Will any Full Metal random matches be covered? Yes, we're going to be talking about the random matches, especially the one you were in, which was definitely a lot of fun. So, you know what? I think I've done enough talking right now. So let's get into it. So from here on out, spoiler warning is in full effect. So we're going to start just kind of like in an order in a way. We're just going to kind of start in chronological order. So on the 29th, we had our Full Metal Classic match. We didn't have a Full Metal Singles match for that week just because of recording and editing and just everything that got in the way. Unfortunately, we just were not able to get it out to you guys. So apologies on my end for you for that. But we did have an awesome Classic match. We had in the ring that night, we had Dollface, Brian Michaels, Malcolm Lay, Jacoby Bancroft, and Alex Warden. These are 5 powerhouse hitters. If you could ask for a murderer's row, you can't get any better than this. I mean, throw in a couple more names, throw in a Jeremy Adams or a Sandy Robinson or a Paul Oyama, which we all know what's going on with Paul right now. He's going to be making his debut this week, so I'm sure you all are going to be watching. So, Paul, if you're watching this right now, Full Metal's behind you in your corner. We can't wait to see you. Great luck to you in this match. So, but you know what? Let's get right back. Let's get into our Classic match. So this was a very fun match. This was a very interesting match. This was a great way to really kick off the week. And, you know, even with the lack of singles for this week, it was really good to see this match because it was a very close match. It was a 3-way tie coming out of round 1 for first and for second and for fourth, respectively. But you know, coming out of round 1, we had an already go to an box office for the tiebreaker, and unfortunately the first one eliminated was Alex Warden. I mean, this was a bit of a shocker. I mean, he even said like he had a kind of an off night. I mean, but even a 6-for-8 round is nothing to shy away from. I mean, when you go, I was like, getting eliminated for 6-for-8, going up against the talent pool that you are, that is tough. That is just super, super tough. But first time back in the ring, I was like, I'm a little tongue tied a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. It's been a while since I've been back here, but you know, coming back in, you know, he did a fantastic job, I think, you know, and only can go up from here, buddy. So just keep at it. But going into round 2, things definitely got a little bit more interesting. We definitely started to see a little bit more momentum from the players. We had a little bit changing of the guard. Interestingly enough, we had Dollface randomly switched out into Emma. Emma took over for her. So that was definitely an interesting change of pace for that. So I was definitely an interesting change of the guard there. But coming out of round 2, I mean, like, you definitely saw a lot of back and forth. You could definitely see a clear front runner, but still it was tight enough, you know, in the lower positions. But unfortunately, Jacoby just could not make it out of round 2, and he finished 4th for the night. But you know what, Jacoby, he is still a fantastic player. If you have not watched his Full Metal Random match with Lost, the kid's a beast at Lost. I mean, he is just fantastic at there. So if you're a big Lost fan, definitely check that out and get that going then. So yeah, I was like, Jacoby will bounce back. I was like, he's a good competitor. I think he'll definitely get his momentum back in the ring. But, you know, going into round 3, we had Emma, Malcolm, and Brian battling it out to see who the top dog was. And the top dog of the night, coming out with his 3rd win, is Brian the MacGuffin Michaels. Listen, Brian Michaels is, I think, one of the most underrated players playing in Classic right now. And we've already seen him a little bit in singles this past season, and it didn't go 100% his way, but still, the guy shows immense talent, especially in teams. I mean, look at his match with Wild Stallions with our singles #1 contender. Oh my God, I'm blanking on names. Joseph Olivas. Wow, I apologize, Joseph. Him and Joseph going up against Omega Club in their team match was just fantastic. And Brian is just amazing with his talent, and just, you know, he absolutely deserved this win. If there's anything Brian has shown us, is that he can be a beast at trivia, and he is definitely one you do not want to underestimate. So Brian, fantastic win. But you know what? Malcolm played a great game. Emma, Dollface, so say that whole controversy there, they both played great. I mean, I think this was probably the best showings from both of them respectively. I think we've seen probably the best games we've seen from them in a little while, but you know what? There's always room for improvement. I think everybody's just going to keep trying to chase for that W and just keep adding it to their records. So you know what? It was a fantastic match. If you haven't checked this out, definitely give this a watch. Brian played a hell of a game, and I can't wait to see more of him and everybody else in the ring. So good job, everybody. Let me take a quick sip. This match, I'll say this recap show is not sponsored by Stella, I promise. Or as the dude said it in his Super Bowl commercial, Stella Artois. All right, so next up then, we had a Full Metal Random match, and oh man. Actually, you know what? I gotta bring the drink back out. We have to pour one out for the death of IMDb, because this Full Metal Random match was for the IMDb round that you've all know and love from Full Metal Singles and Full Metal Trivia. We said salute to our IMDb round. And it went out in a Viking-like fashion with the flaming boat and everything. And this was just this match was insane. This match was just so much fun to play along with. But we had three amazing competitors. We had Ryan Permison, Caleb Boatman, and Brian Michaels again. And this was very close. This was a very close match from the get-go. And it was between Brian and Caleb. This really showed a lot of back and forth. It was definitely a teeter-totter. And it came down to it at the final question in the speed round, a 1-point game, mind you, a 1-point game, the big bad winner at the end of the night, Brian Michaels again with his second win of the week. Amazing job. IMDb, as everybody knows who's competed in teams or in singles or what have you, or just playing along, IMDb is nothing to shake at, nothing to shake a leg at. As you can see right now, we currently have a guest. This is my kid, Miles. He wants to make an appearance right now. Uh-oh, yes, indeed. Yes. Can you say hi to everybody? We just dropped our paper with all our notes on it. Yeah. But, yeah, so we said goodbye to IMDb in very spirited fashion. Brian came out, and he really showed us he's good at IMDb. I mean, there were some tough ones in there. There was definitely some really tricky ones in there. But Caleb is no slouch at this. Caleb really came and brought his A game. For somebody who hasn't competed in singles or teams, he came in and proved that he could hang with some of the tough ones. He immensely proved that. So, Caleb, I know you're watching along right now. You did fantastic. So you are a 1-point game coming in second place is nothing to shy away from. So excellent job with that game, man. But Ryan Permison, he had a little bit of a rough time. It happens. I think he just hit with the bad luck stick that night. But you know what? He said he had a lot of fun in the match. And that's just all what it is. That's what random's supposed to be. Random's supposed to be fun. This isn't something we take seriously. This isn't something we're supposed to really approach in a serious way. This is something we can all just kind of have some fun with and really just approach it in a lighthearted way and just have some fun. And at the end of the night, I think all three of these competitors had a great time and really showed it. So, Brian, again, congratulations on the second win of the week. I mean, not many people have done that yet. I mean, not many people who have competed in classic or a random or a singles or teams or whatever, getting 2 wins in 1 week is nothing to nothing to shy away from. So fantastic job, buddy. Fantastic job. All right, let's see. Let's check the chat right now. Let's see what everybody's saying right now. Any classic match that has a secret category for round 2 gets very entertaining, especially when the competitors use surprisingly well with the category. Yes, the secret category of round 2. That was definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, I missed Cameron Holtzman. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for joining along. 6 for 8 elimination is insane. Everyone showed up for that game. They did. They absolutely did. I'm proud of my ability with the secret category. Malcolm, I mean, picking that one was definitely a bit of a stretch, and it was a little bit of a gamble, but you know what? I think it played out really well for you. Brian definitely does know his stuff. Ryan played one heck of a game. Yeah, again, everybody played fantastic that night. I think everybody did a fantastic job. So, I mean, yeah, you can't really say too much more. Yep, you gonna leave? All right, so everybody said bye to Miles. He's leaving. I got SpongeBob on the background. That was half of why I'm late, because those kids, they like to wake up from naps at the worst times. And right as I'm ready to go live, he wakes up. Gotta love it. All right. So next up then, we had our teams match for the week. We had the Oncoming Storm, made up of myself and my good buddy Max Vincent, and we played the Revenant. We played Jim Green and Drake Fremsdorf. Now, this was a match that was kind of in the works last season. Back in when we were transitioning over from WWMGN over to Full Metal. This was a match that was kind of in the works for a little bit, and I was very excited for this match. I was speaking on behalf of somebody who competed. This was definitely a match I was really looking forward to. Drake and Jim are fantastic guys. They're funny. They're always a great to have on a call with. They're very easy to talk to, and I was expecting a lot of fun for this match. You know, we were both going into this match 2-1. We're trying to chase after that third win and try and put ourselves into a good contendership to potentially go for a championship run. So, but, you know, coming out of round 1, we had a little bit of a rough time. me and Max, we came out, I think it was a 12-10 score. Drake and Jim really shined in round one. I think they did a fantastic job. Max was no slouch. I did okay. I say 5 for 8. It's not the best, but I can't complain 100%. But round two, I think, was where we really saw some interesting things going on. I mean, we got given, what was it? Modern black and white films, which was a category I was a little nervous about, but we actually did really well at it. I was surprised at how well we did. And then I said we got to have some payback for Revenant and give them their category. And I've had people contact me. They're like, dude, you should have gave them Hitchcock. You should have 100% given them Hitchcock. I can't talk. But in a way, I didn't want to give them Hitchcock because it's very easy to give somebody a tough category like that because there's the chance that they can get it wrong. However, you need to be ready for the steal. So in hindsight, looking back on it, it really wasn't the best decision. And going with Rotten on Tomatoes was probably our better option, because we got some good key steals out of it and really put the pressure on Drake and Jim going into round 3. And I'll say, we'll just spoil it right now. Round 3, we came out with the TKO. I mean, this was our first TKO. This is definitely a big moment for us. We were very excited for the win. Drake and Jim, they just didn't, out of all the movies they got one they didn't mesh with, one they didn't know very well. It was one I knew. I went 10 for 10 that round for the points. But that's what happens with this new round 3. I mean, sometimes you'll get a movie that you're gonna ace, no problem, and sometimes you're gonna get one where you're like, oh man, I didn't see this one. But anything can happen in round 3, and that's what this has proven. But you know what? Drake and Jim still gave us a fantastic game. I'm very excited that Max and I got the win. We got to play a really good game and hang out with some good people, and just looking forward to here. Now, I do want to bring up something that was brought up in the match. So I think it was RJ who said it. He said, we didn't exactly show confidence, or didn't show overconfidence. That it's not that we are not confident. It's just that we don't overestimate ourselves. We don't talk ourselves a big game. We focus on the game. We focus on the match at hand. You gotta win today to earn tomorrow. That's just the mentality that we kind of go with. It's not, we're confident in our abilities. We're confident in what we do. We don't like to brag. That's just the thing. I mean, overconfidence is the number one thing that can kill a player. And we've seen it happen to people. The minute you underestimate your opponent is when you slip. And that, I think, is like one of the key strategies people forget. The minute you underestimate somebody is when you mentally slip, because then you're getting yourself into a hole, and trying to get out of that is just going to be so tough. So that's one of my tips for everybody competing. Never count out an opponent. Never, never, never count out an opponent, because you never know when something like that is going to slip up. And, I'm getting into the rambling phase, as you can tell right now. But, yeah, Drake and Jim, fantastic game. Thank you guys very much, and look forward to my next match. So 3-1. Next up, then, we had on the Saturday, we had Movie Battlegrounds. We had a number 1 contenders match between Cody Newberry and Schmodown's very own Chance Ellison. I'll say who we all know got his start here in Full Metal. He's still around. I'll say he's still around too. I'll say we see him on top 5. So this was a match that really kind of surprised me. This was a match that for a number 1 contenders match, for the outcome to come the way it did, really caught me off guard, and it really it kind of put me at a loss for words in a way, because coming out with a knockout victory, not a TKO, knockout, Cody Newberry with a 3-0 win over Chance. What? I mean, we all say, let's talk about Cody. So Cody when his debate skills, you don't want to go against him. You don't want to go against Cody Newberry in a debate because he knows how to play the offensive game, but he knows how to play the defensive game too. And he just attacked Chance like a rabid dog. Chance had some great arguments, and Chance was really fighting hard. And no disrespect to him, but man, Cody he just obliterated him. It was just, at one point, it just kind of seemed unfair in some ways. I mean, as somebody who competed against Cody in a debate and almost beat Cody Newberry too, so looking at you over in Dance Off, but Cody just he knew how to attack Chance's arguments. He knew where the weaknesses were in his rebuttals. He really studied this because he knows he wants to go for that championship belt. He wants his shot at Isaac, and he came to play and then some. He really showed us why he is, while not the greatest with trivia, I mean, he is significantly improved. Him and Jeff over in teams have shown a significant improvement in their abilities, but when it comes to debate, Cody Newberry is untouchable, I think. I think he is borderline untouchable. And getting ready to see him play against Isaac is going to be some fireworks because Isaac he's the champ for a reason. I mean, Isaac has shown us that he just doesn't... He plays in the same way Cody does. He knows how to attack their weaknesses. He knows where to find the weak spots in the rebuttals. And he just exploits it and makes the judges look at it and just like, you know what? He's right. And to see these two go at it is going to be a sight to behold, which we're going to talk about at the end because that dropped yesterday, and we're going to talk about that a little bit then. So, but anyway, Cody Chance was a very unexpected match, very interesting and unexpected match, but a lot of fun regardless. So that rounded out that week. So we're going to take a little break right now. Let's see if we got what cool kids we got going on in the chat. And let's see what we got. Well, we got 8 people watching along right now. Thank you all very much for tuning in with me on your Saturday right now, as it is currently 5:37 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you guys are watching along right now, comment what you guys think your favorite match was of the past 2 weeks. What you guys are looking forward to, and yeah, let's go with it. So, all right. So next week we start with this past week that happened on Monday. We had our singles, Full Metal singles match for the week. We had a triple threat between Dominic Rizzi, Caleb Coho, and Henry Sanchez. Now, these are 3 competitors who are very outspoken. They know how to talk game. They know, and I said in the match too, these are 3 competitors who are outspoken and know how to do the smack talk, but in the same breath, they can back that up with the trivia knowledge. So going into this match, this was definitely going to be one that I think was going to go the distance. This was definitely going to be one that was going to go well into round 3. And you know what? So let's go round 1. Round 1, we saw Dominic coming out with an early lead. He was doing great. Caleb coming in second place. And then Henry, he was having a rough time in round 1, coming in with 1 point. Not where you want to sit going into a round 2. But going into round 2, this was probably the first time I can think of where all 3 strengths were picked in round 2. That is kind of unheard of. That doesn't usually happen, but coming out of round 2, I mean, Henry brought his score back up and put himself in a good position to keep himself in contention and not keep himself and get himself out of that knockout range. So kudos to him for bringing his score back up. Caleb really shined in Pixar. I was really impressed with how he did there and his abilities. He really showed that Disney and Pixar are one of his strengths, clearly. Dominic did okay. I mean, he was given Tarantino, which was Henry's strength, and he had a little bit of a rough go with it. And I was like, giving up a big 2-point steal was one of the big turning points, I think, for him. But going into round 3, then this was tight. It was tied between Dominic and Henry, and they were going back and forth with theirs. Unfortunately, Dominic missed it on the fifth and final question for him in A League of Their Own, and surprised me because I thought he would know this, and I thought we were going to go to a tiebreaker with these two. And then I was like, he missed it. It shocked me. It honestly shocked me because he was doing so well with it that was the one that got that. Oh man, but you know what? Dom, like I said, Dom's going to bounce back from that one. I said it in the match. Dom's going to bounce back from this match very easily. He showed he still plays a great game. There's always the debate. I would say there was the debate like, oh, Dominic didn't have a strategy. He did, but at the same breath, there's a strategy you have to take to the game, and then there's also a sense of luck and just the knowledge that you have to work into the game as well. So I don't know. I mean, I think Dominic's gonna bounce back from this, no problem. I think he's gonna really shine and give us a great performance down the road. I said we saw him in classic match, which we're going to talk about in a little bit then too. And I think Dom's gonna do fine. So then it was between Caleb and Henry. Caleb just needed one lone point to win this. He needed to answer one question. He had 4 chances. Missed the first one, or the second one. He missed the third one. He missed the fourth one. And then it came down to the final question, and he whiffed it. He had 4 chances to sink Henry, and he whiffed it. Henry came out with the win, with an amazing come-from-behind victory. He came out on top. This was a shocker, and this is why round 3 has shown again why it's so entertaining, is when you get stuff like this that happens. You had somebody who had 4 chances to seal the deal and just couldn't do it. It wasn't the right movie for him, for Caleb, unfortunately. I know Robert Parker is going to be giving him an earful on their trip to Chicago come in April, but oh man, see, this is when it's like, even if you don't have time to see movies, just do the homework. I would say, do what you got to do. Go on to IMDb, go on to a Wikipedia page, just do like a basic research of the movie. I mean, that's where it comes down to even, but man, it was a shocker. It was just an absolute shocker. Henry, I'll say it once. I said it once in the match, and I said it again. Coming from, you never count out the person in last. From somebody who came out with a victory, who was sitting in last the entire match, you never underestimate the person in last. Never. Because you don't know what's going to happen. So you know what, Henry, you came out with a great match. You definitely redeemed yourself. Got yourself the 500. Got yourself that 2-2 record. Caleb, he's gonna bounce back. It was a 1 point loss. This, at the end of the game, the difference between first place and third place was a matter of 2 points. That shows you the ability of these players. This was 3 evenly matched players that all came to play that day. And at the end of the day, just Henry coming in with the big come from behind victory. So fantastic job, dude. And look forward to seeing you again in this ring. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Rizzy versus Co versus Confidential is the match of the season so far for me. Hell yes. That is definitely a lot. That was definitely a lot of fun, that match. My favorite match is the Super Bowl trivia match. Yes, we're going to be talking about that right now, actually, Jonathan Peck. So we'll get there going. Caleb needs to watch Lord of the Rings. Yes, he does, Malcolm. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be giving him an earful with that. So as I mentioned, yes, the next match we're going to be talking about is our Full Metal Random match, the Super Bowl. We just recently had the Super Bowl here in the States between the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams. And yeah, the Patriots won again. I don't think anybody except for the New England states is happy, but whatever. We'll wait for next season for football, everybody. So maybe my precious Ravens will do okay next. No, they won't. No, Jackson. is that quarterback now. But regardless, we had a fun match talking about the Super Bowl. We had three great players in this match. We had our good buddy Russell Howe, Malcolm Lay, and Dan Skip Allen. So it was definitely a very spirited match. It was definitely a lot of fun. It was very good to reminisce on a lot of things that we all know and love from the Super Bowl. Especially, there were some deep cut questions in there. There was definitely some ones. If you heard that scream right now, that was my kid. He's very excited that SpongeBob is on right now. So that's the beauty of things happening live, everybody. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of very fair questions. There was definitely, they're talking about halftime shows. They're talking about the players. They're talking about the teams. There was a lot to talk about. There was definitely a lot of material for them to cover. And coming out of it, the pressure was on for Russell. I mean, he had some lucky guesses, and then he was starting to get into a momentum, and then the big bad winner again was Russell. Russell came out with the victory there. Big football fan. I know. I'll say fellow Michigan fan. Yeah, say go blue, buddy. But he said it in the match. This was definitely a lot of fun, and the pressure was put on him early by Malcolm and Dan. Dan definitely played a good game. As somebody who is I know he's a Boston fan, and I know he's a Patriots fan, so I know he's definitely happier right now. But Dan's just fun. He's a fun guy. I love talking with Dan. He's always a great guy to be around, and he definitely knows his knowledge when it comes to sports. I know he is one of the main sports writers for questions over in Multiplex with their sports league. He definitely shows that he knows his sports trivia. I think that is definitely where one of his big shining moments are. So Dan did an excellent job. But you know what? Malcolm is still no one. For somebody, it's always hard when somebody who isn't in the States to associate with American football. I don't know exactly how it translates and how it is perceived, in other countries. So, to have Malcolm really come out and show us a fantastic knowledge, I think he did great. I think he did absolutely great. This was a lot of fun talk, getting a lot of fun facts in. There was some stuff even there, which it was like, oh man, I never knew that. I really never knew that. But it was just a fun spirited match. This was definitely a lot of fun. Russell came out big with the win, really showing why he is an underrated player. One of the most underrated players, I think, playing in general. Whether it be trivia or random. I know I played him in my 90s random match. We had a lot of fun. And, Malcolm and Dan are always a lot of fun. It's fun. This is what random's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. And that's what everybody needs to, I think that's what everybody gets with it. Random is something that people can go into with not the most serious of intentions and still come out with a good time. And this goes for anybody. If you ever want to get into a random match, if you have a good idea for a random match and you know somebody else who would be fun to do it with, drop Jeremy Adams a message on Facebook or whatever you got to do and see if he can get you on the roster. I know there's a lot that are currently in the works, and we'll definitely try and squeeze you in and see where we can go from there. So again, good job everybody in the Super Bowl match. All right, so let's shift our attentions over to Full Metal Geek. We had our number one contenders matches. Unfortunately, this is going to be the only geek match I'm going to be talking about right now. There was a lot. I know there's a mini tournament going on right now, and unfortunately, I did not get a chance to watch all of it. So I apologize, everybody over at Geek. You guys always do a fantastic job. Unfortunately, I could not watch all the matches this week, and yeah. Oh, it was Sandy playing. I'm sorry, Malcolm. Oh my God. Yeah, it's been a weird week for me. We have a lot going on right now at home, so I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, where was we going? Oh yeah, geek. See, this is what happens when you're on much sleep. You can tell by the bags under my eyes. Not a lot of sleep going on. But you know what? I'm still bringing good content. I'm still here to bring content to you guys, whether it's good or not. So, all right. So, Full Metal Geek, we had a number one contenders match between three people, and we had Caleb Coho, Dominic Rizzi, and Sandy Robinson. This was a very interesting match. This was definitely a lot of fun. And three people who've clearly shown that they know that when it comes to the geek stuff, these are definitely the top 5 that I can think of when it comes to this. You couldn't ask for 3 people who deserve a chance to play against Robert Parker for that belt. But at the end of the night, Sandy Robinson, the Sandman, is going to be challenging Robert Parker for that belt. And brother, great job. You did a fantastic game. You played great. And I think you can really give Robert a run for his money. I think it's going to be a very tough and spirited match. But I'm sure Cody Newberry has some choice words for that. But I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens after this little tournament that's going on. But you know what? Dominic and Caleb still, they definitely showed up. I think as far as like the most improved player, I think Caleb, even though he whiffed on his Lord of the Rings questions in singles, when it comes to everything else, he's usually pretty damn good, you know. And Dominic too. I think Dominic does good in the Geek League, but I think he really does shine when it comes to just general trivia, because I think when it gets into some of the deep stuff, I think is where he gets kind of a little lost. But even then, he still shows up to play. I think all 3 of them really did show up to play very well. But Sandy, I mean, like, this was his thing originally in the beginning. You know, this was somebody who spearheaded the whole Geek League here at Full Metal. So challenging him is going to be tough. It's like trying to, you know, then you got Robert Parker, who's another big guy with the geek, you know, trying to challenge any of these guys is going to be tough. And to have Sandy and Rob and Dominic and Caleb going at it, this definitely proved to be a very fun match. It was a very spirited match. And I'm very excited to see Sandy and Robert go at it for the belt. So, Sandy, fantastic job getting the win. Dominic, Caleb, you guys are going to do fantastic still in the Geek League. And there's nothing to be ashamed of in your games. And keep it going, guys. Keep it going. All right. So, did I just spoil a match? Wait a minute. Did I just ruin a match? Oh my goodness. Wait, that wasn't released. Oh my goodness. I just spoiled a match. I am so sorry, guys. RJ, thank you for pointing that out. Oh my goodness. See that? I am so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. Again, no sleep. I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to continue. So, apologies, everybody. So, right now, we got Full Metal Classic. Man, oh my God. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this. See, that, and you all get to watch it live. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my God. Man. Oh my goodness. All right, let's talk about Full Metal Classic. So, Full Metal Classic, we had 6 competitors for tonight. We actually had 6 very interesting competitors. We had some returning faces. We had some faces we've already seen before. And again, this was another fun match. This definitely showed 6 people who really came to play. So we had, playing for the night, we had Zach Ford, Ryan O'Regan, Michael Wood, Hunter Chambliss, Caleb Boatman, Dominic Rizzi, and Renee Villarreal. And man, this was definitely a lot of fun. This was definitely a very good and spirited match by everybody. Coming out of round 1, we definitely had, you know, Dom coming out with 7 points. Again, he's showing he knows his general movie knowledge. He's showing why he is a great competitor and why I think that this is truly where Dominic belongs. That's just my personal opinion. I still think he does a He does a great job still in Geek, but I think is really where it shines is him in just the general movie knowledge. But RJ, he did I was gonna say first time getting back into the match. You know, it's like he's usually one of our main testers. He does an excellent job testing all their questions for Classic. Getting back into the ring, unfortunately, just didn't click for him in round one. Unfortunately, but you know what? He's still a great competitor. I think he's one of the most improved players to play the game, and especially what him and Andrew Hayes with Ranger Dudes. I still think they're a fun team to watch. You know, I think those two are like two Makugas teamed up together. I love watching them. That is my phone going off, everybody. Sorry about that. Let me turn that off. That's better. But yeah, where was I? But yeah, RJ, you know, getting back into Classic, you know, it's been a while since I've been in Classic. I don't know how well I'd do going back in it, but you know, he's still a fantastic player, and I think he did an excellent job. But you know what, coming out of round two, round two is another interesting way that it went down. Interesting category. So definitely seeing a lot of strengths being shown. But coming out of round three, the big winner, Dominic Rizzi. Again, I think Classic is really where Dominic can shine. And we've seen this. I mean, this is, I think, his third win now officially with that. But you know what? I think he did. I think, you know, Dominic did a fantastic job coming out with the win. Caleb Boatman I'll say this is another rising player who I think is going to make some waves. He's got a singles match coming up very, very soon. I think he came in. I think it was he was the big second place winner for the night. He gave Dominic a great fight. Caleb Boatman, I think, is going to be one of the players you definitely want to watch this season, and especially once he makes his debut in singles, which, again, definitely be on the lookout for that when it drops. But at the end of the day, you know, we had a bunch of great competitors. We saw, you know, seeing Michael Wood back in the ring is great. You know, I love him and his brother. When I got to play them with Mirror Image, they are two individuals who are so fun to be around. Michael Wood is definitely a fantastic competitor. Zach Ford, you know, I know he was looking for redemption from that end of the season match in Classic, and I think that was validated in some way. I think he did a lot better in this match compared to that end of the season match last year. Hunter Chambliss, another competitor who's I think he's improving more. I'd say Hunter Chambliss is actually doing a lot better with this game, and he's really paying attention to the nuances and trying to get that going. So he did a great job. Ryan O'Regan too. I love watching Ryan. I would say it's great seeing him back in the ring. This is definitely another person you do not want to count out of a match. He has definitely shown a significant presence. You know, I want to see more and more of him. I'm pretty sure he is going to be getting a singles match, and don't know who it is just yet. I don't know if he's watching along right now. Ryan, if you are watching, fantastic game. I look forward to seeing more and more of you. Definitely keep adding Classic. I'm pretty sure you are on the singles roster. I am not 100% sure. Don't quote me on it. But if you're not, we probably will get you on very, very soon. So you know what? Ryan did great. Michael did great. Hunter did great. Caleb did great. RJ did great. But you know what? Dominic come out with the win. So congratulations, Dom. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see how lit up I'm getting. It's okay, Jeff. We all make mistakes on no sleep. Thank you very much for sympathizing with me. Oh my God. Thought it was 7 competitors. Was it 7? I thought it was 6. It was right. I'm pretty sure it was 6, but I honestly don't know. I got 6. If I'm missing somebody, I apologize. Big time. I apologize. I'll say a lot. I'm pretty sure it was 6, but I don't know. I'll say if I'm missing somebody, I apologize wholeheartedly. Anyway, guys, we got 2 more matches we are going to be talking about then. We are going to be talking about our teams match that dropped earlier this week. We had Knights of Steel made up of Ryan Permison and Kane McMillan over at Multiplex. So if you guys aren't following them right now, be sure to give them a follow. Tell them Full Metal sent you. They're good guys over there. And yeah. And then we had Team Wisco. We had our good buddy Robert Parker, and Zach Ford. 2 0-1 teams who debuted last season and had some rough goes with their first matches and trying to get that first win. But coming out of round 1, you had Zach Ford pitching a perfect round 1 and getting his bonus point. Not many people have gotten that. I'll say in teams. I think this is the second time in teams somebody has gotten it. And Zach Ford coming out with a perfect round. Fantastic job, dude. Fantastic job. But Robert, he swung for the fences. I think he got 7 for 8 that round. And then you had Ryan and Kane. They had a little bit of a rough time going out of round 1, but they definitely had some ground to make up in round 2. So round 2 definitely saw Wisco doing pretty good. I think it was movie villains, and we're definitely they went to multiple choice a couple times just to play it safe, just to kind of keep the point spread down and to try and keep themselves in that TKO range. Knights of Steel, they got quotes, and quotes is usually one of those categories that is pretty scary. It's not necessarily one you want to get, but it's not necessarily one it's beatable. It's definitely one that's beatable. And I think it just came down to the head game for Ryan and Kane, because they knew it. You could see in their eyes they would know it. But I think they would second guess themselves when it came down to like the word for word answer, because that's when it gets tough in quotes. So in some ways I can sympathize with them on going multiple choice, because if you're off by 1, it's enough to burn you. But going multiple choice when they had to, I would say like the Dazed and Confused one really hurt me. I was like, because I knew Ryan knew it. I knew he knew it. But I was like, so going into round 3, there was 10 points on the board. They needed to go perfect. They were given Point Break, and Point Break, it was definitely one for them that didn't jive, which is unfortunate. It happens, and Wisco came out with the big TKO win. And again, Wisco, I think, I say they climbed to the ranks. I think they said they climbed now to like, I know they're in the top 15. I want to say they're like 12 or 11th right now currently. And they currently, I think this is a solid team. I think these, when we originally saw them debut way back in the teams tournament with There Will Be Trivia, they both showed their elements of strengths and skills, but to see them now come together and really shine and really show why they should be a powerhouse team, and that loss was kind of a fluke for them in the first match for them. I think Zach and Robert have great chemistry, even with their biannual podcasts that they always talk about. I'll say Fireside. I'll say, what was it? Fireside Chit Chat. Which again, if you guys aren't subscribed to them, give them a like. I'll say definitely follow them over there. A lot of fun to listen into them. Look forward to the next episode, guys. But now let's talk about Ryan and Kane. Ryan and Kane now dropped to 0-2, and they're in some rough waters, especially because we got some teams that want to take their debuts this year, and I think they got hit with the bad luck stick today. I mean, the questions didn't really gem. It's got to be the right questions. I would say that's just what the game boils down to. It's got to be the right questions at the right time. And unfortunately, just for them, it just was not the right questions. But at the end of the day, Wisco, I think, are going to be a team you definitely want to watch this season. I can see them climbing more in the ranks as the season goes on, and look forward to see who the next competitor is. Knights of Steel, I think they're going to bounce back a little bit. I think they need to hit the drawing board a little bit more and not second guess themselves. I think that's where their Achilles heel is. They second guess themselves, and that's ultimately what can make or break you in a ring. So it was a fantastic match, definitely very enjoyable and a lot of fun to watch. All right, guys, we got one more match to talk about. But before we do, let's check out what's going on in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we got Nazario. Mr. VHS is here. This song is gonna get stuck inside your head. Oh, you just saw the Lego movie, didn't you? I'll say are you gonna spam the entire chat with that now? I didn't get a chance to see it, but heard good things. Heard some decent things about it. So good job with that. Because damn it, you do got it in my head actually. I said because I actually heard an ad for it on the radio earlier today, and it just thank you, Nazario. Thank you. All right, guys, we got one more match to talk about. We got probably the biggest match we got to talk about right now, and that is over from our good buddies at Movie Battlegrounds. We had our championship match between Isaac Horvat and Cody Newberry. So this was a match I was actually really looking forward to because, like, as I said previously, when Cody played with Chance, Cody and Isaac have very similar play styles. They have very similar strategies. So to see those two go at it was very interesting. It was just an interesting way to approach it. It was an interesting way to see how two of the same offenses and same defenses clashing at each other. This was definitely going to be a battle of titans. And for the most part, we got that. I'll say Isaac definitely brought his usual fire. You know, he knows how to counter very easily. He knows how to rebuttal very easily. But Cody came out just as hard, maybe even harder. You know, he came out very early with a lead. I think it was at 1 point 2-0. And then once it got down to the speed round, and then coming out at the end of the day, we have a new Battlegrounds champion in Cody Newberry. All well deserved. This was a fun match. This was definitely a match that when you think of a contenders match and you can think of two people to go at it, these are two you can think of. Cody definitely brought his material. Cody definitely knew how to attack Isaac's strengths, his weaknesses, and it showed a lot in his rebuttals. When he would do his wrap-ups, you could understand where he was coming from. You could understand why he won the way he did and why he deserved to get that belt. You know, Isaac, I think is still gonna, you know, he is still somebody you do not want to fear when it comes to Battlegrounds. Isaac was the champ for a reason. Isaac got to that belt because he knows how to attack people's strengths. He knows how to attack the weaknesses inside of their arguments. I think this was just a matter of he got outplayed today. You know, I think Isaac will bounce back from this easily, and I think it won't be long until we see him back in that ring battling Cody. But you know what? That's no slouch against everybody else in Battlegrounds, because we have seen some interesting players coming out in Battlegrounds. I know there was a match that dropped. I know it was I think it was Madi versus Robert. I unfortunately did not have time to watch that. So Madi, Robert, I apologize wholeheartedly that I did not get a chance to watch your match yet, just with time and getting everything ready for today. Unfortunately, just did not get a chance to watch that. I promise I will cover it on the next episode of Recap and talk about that, because I'm sure it's definitely going to be a fun match, because whenever Madi's in the ring, he's just an interesting character. And I think him and Robert could have some very interesting back and forth with that. So, I know it was brought up in the chat. Thank you, Malcolm. I apologize for that. But yeah. So as we all know, yeah, this was definitely the past 2 weeks in Full Metal, there's a lot that's going on. We had a lot drop in the couple days. I know I just spoiled a very big match, and again, I apologize. I know I said people are messaging me and saying they're like, "Don't worry about it. People are still gonna watch." Yeah, people still watch this match. It is fantastic. Trust me, it is a fantastic match. You do not want to miss this one when it drops officially. And leave it to me. Leave it to me to ruin it for you guys. But again, I apologize to everybody. Simple human error. I was like, we have definitely seen that. So that's going to about wrap it up for recap. We're going to be going into this new week. We got a lot of exciting matches coming at you for this week. We got Classic dropping tomorrow night instead of Tuesday. We're actually going to be swapping singles for Classic. So I know the call went out for Classic yesterday. I don't know if the list was finalized just yet. But definitely be on the lookout for that tomorrow night. I think it's dropping at 10 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern is when the match is dropping. But then Tuesday, we have our Full Metal singles match for the week. We have a triple threat between, I believe it's Matt Quayler, Mike Hanley, and oh my goodness, why am I blanking on the third? Ugh. Damn it. Oh my God. Here, hold on. I have the files right here because I have the. I said, let me pull it up really quick. Thomas Eanes. I'm so sorry, Thomas. Yes. Thomas Eanes, Matt Quayler, and Mike Hanley going on in a triple threat. That's definitely a lot of fun. Definitely want to watch that match when it comes out. We got Random coming out on Wednesday. I don't know what the match is for this week, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. With all these random matches are. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thursday, we have our Full Metal teams. We have a very, very, very interesting match for you guys that day. Definitely be on the lookout for this one. It is Business Casual, made up of Brandon Hanna and James White, facing off against Wild Stallions of Brian Michaels and Joseph Olivas. Do not miss this match. I promise you guys, do not miss this match, because this is one that I think is going to be talked about for a little bit. And then some. Friday, I know it's our Full Metal Geek Day. I'm not 100% sure what the lineup is for Friday. So if I know we have a couple guys in the chat right now who are watching along right now, I'll say maybe they might drop it. I don't know. Saturday, we have, again, Battlegrounds. I'll say always a lot of fun with that. And I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to do a recap for next Sunday. Unfortunately, I have a prior engagement that I have set up. I'll say, again, stuff with the house. We're getting a lot of things settled. So it's kind of taking me away from it. So unfortunately, next Sunday, I will not be doing recap. So I think we're going to be doing it the following Sunday, or maybe even another day. Hell, even next week, I might even do a special edition, like on a Saturday or maybe early in the morning. I'll say we'll figure it out from there. I will definitely make the post in the Facebook groups and let everybody know what is going on then. So let's just see. Yeah, I think that's about it then. So we're gonna wrap it up for the day here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching along. Thank you for joining me here on your Sunday evening. Be sure, if you guys aren't already subscribed to Full Metal, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, do everything you gotta do. Spread the word. We love when you guys are receptive to these matches. We love when you talk about it and get involved. And that's just it. We love, I'll say, everybody is welcome here at Full Metal, especially in Full Metal Classic. Full Metal Classic is our entry level trivia league. This is where anybody and everybody can get a chance to compete. Usually the call goes out on a Sunday or a Monday. Definitely be on the lookout for that in our Facebook group, which if you aren't, the link for the Facebook group is down below in the description. Definitely be sure to follow along there. We have our Full Metal Singles League. We have our Full Metal Trivia Teams League. We have our Geek League, which is currently in their tournament right now. Definitely keep that going, even though I just kind of ruined part of it for you. Apologize again. I can't apologize for that enough. I am so sorry, everybody. And then we have our Full Metal Random, which is a less serious, more fun style trivia match. If you have an idea, again, for a random match that you feel is fun and you can have at least one other person to do a match with, get in contact with Jeremy Adams or Sandy Robinson, one of us, and we'll try and get you guys on the roster and get you going with that. And then Movie Battlegrounds is our debate league. Movie Battlegrounds is a lot of fun. I know they're kind of I'll say they're definitely getting back into the swing of things. A lot of great content coming out of them. Subrath and Matt, everybody's doing great over there. Definitely I'll say if trivia is not your thing, but you like debating, definitely get yourself involved in that. As you just heard my kid screaming. That's usually my cue right now. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for following along, for tuning in. This is Big Poppa, Jeff Varju, right here saying thank you for guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.